today's episode, we will highlight a number of the Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy projects, which supports the ministry's general strategy towards implementing the new Kuwait plan for development in the country. The Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy is currently studying and implementing a number of projects for the electrical transmission network in order to modernize and strengthen it in a way that is consistent with the development plan and housing projects to be implemented in the future. The ministry is also implementing a number of major substations projects based on the needs of a number of ministries and state institutions with which the ministry coordinates to supply them with the electrical energy needed for their projects. Plus, the ministry is studying the implementation of approximately 31 major transfer stations in various areas, including the new residential areas planned to be established in the future.
Public Authority of Housing Welfare plan to construct about 28,000 houses for the Kuwaiti citizens at AlMula Area, which is covering about 120 square kilometer divided into 12 sectors, starting from N1 to N12. Accordingly, several meetings has been done with ministry between Public Authority of Housing Welfare and Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy. And the study was starting to know the needed electrical supply for our required services at this huge area.
Through the implementation of these projects, the Ministry of Electricity, Water and Renewable Energy aims to strengthen the network and supply areas that need new conversion stations with sufficient electrical energy, and in coordination with the General Authority for Housing Welfare to implement conversion station projects and major projects, the most important of which is AlMula Area project. The ministry is studying the provision of electrical energy necessary to feed the AlMula City project with a total capacity of 2,500 megawatts to ensure the delivery of power to the plots of that area.
Generation of electricity for the Mutla area is reaching through the electrical transmission network sector from Al Subiya steam power plant via 2 overhead lines with double circuit for each of them with a capacity of 400 kilovolt.
In addition to the services attached to the project, such as hospitals, schools, health centers, mosques, and other services that residential cities need, coordination is currently underway with the Residential Corporation to extend the project's requirements for electrical energy according to the timetable, in line with the ministry's plan and the possibility of providing these loads.
The contract started on 2020 until 2023 with the cost of 25 million Kuwaiti dinar. One of the line was energized on September 2022. The other line will be energized on the November of 2023. One line with the double circuit is enough for AlMula area. The second one to maintain stability. This project serves the new city is called AlMula Area, which located 15 kilometers from north of Al Jahra city, 40 kilometers from the capital. The new Mutla city will have 450 government buildings and 150 schools, 120 mosques, 80 services such as police station and post office and others.
The ministry operated 4 high-voltage electrical stations with a capacity of 400 kilovolts, and through them, 36 high-voltage stations with a capacity of 132 kilovolts will be fed.
Ministry of Electricity and Water with Public Authority of Housing Welfare found that about more than 5,000 megawatt is required to be supplied to the consumers. Accordingly, 4 substations of 400 kilovolt and 36 substations with a capacity of 132 kilovolt substations are to be constructed in order to cover AlMula area. All these substations had been constructed and energized starting from 2020 till 2023 and was divided into 8 contracts with more than 250 million Kuwaiti dinars. Now the following are energized and the consumers started to connect the loads through Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy network, through all the feeders with the grid. In addition to that, energized substation, another 14 substations to be energized are under construction now, and it will be energized within the next 1 year to maintain stability on the grid and continuous current to the consumers. Now, I am standing here and doing the interview in one of the substations which is already energized with a capacity of 400 kV at AlMula area.
The second project is about developing the system of electrical transmission networks and renewable energy stations into smart emergency centers to leap towards the future. The project is being developed by the Electrical Transmission Network sector of the Ministry of Electricity and Water and Renewable Energy, which aims to act urgently in case of any incidents in primary substations in the south and north area of the state of Kuwait.
Transmission sector is the core of our Kuwait networks grid, as it is the place where the levels voltage is maintained and stepped down in order to keep control the current and the load flow. And that's why after designing and constructing any project, you need a maintenance team that can hold the assets and maintain the long-term stability, value, and reliability. And that's what developing the services starts, and need to have another project in back to be able to follow the speed of development progress in more than 670 primary substations that have more than 40,000 circuit breakers, more than 3,200 transformers, and more 100 isolators also. And that's what developing the services starts, and need to have another project impact to be able to follow the speed of development's progress in more than 670 primary substations that have more than 40,000 circuit breakers, more than 3,200 transformers, and more than 100,000 isolators. And as a strategy of speeding up developments, emergency centers is needed and already have been implemented to ensure the fast recovery of this affected primary substation in all over Kuwait.
The Ministry of Electricity, Water and Renewable Energy is working on developing renewable energy and electrical transmission networks in order to keep pace with developments in the field of the energy system in the country.
The main purpose of this project is to act urgently in case of any incidents in a primary substation in the south and north area of Kuwait. The national workforces in these emergency centers works in the morning and night shifts from different sections like protection, switchgear, transformers, firefighting, batteries, cables, overhead line and construction department for under-guarantee substation. As example, the overhead line work as patrolling the line, life and dead maintenance, as well as cable routes. The next chapter will be how to train your workforce to fulfill the achievements.
Several emergency centers have been established to develop electrical transmission networks and renewable energy in northern and southern regions.
The purpose of establishing the emergency center is to have a quick response to electrical network incident and cover a wide area in a short time. South Emergency Center is located in Sabahiyya area, and the North Center is located in Qasr area as a primary substation emergency centers for a faster response to any alarm or trip in the network in south and north of Kuwait. In October 2023, the South and North Emergency Centers buildings were ready to receive a 280 of a workforce each. The main purpose of this project is to act urgently in a case of any incidents in a primary substation in the South and North area of Kuwait. All equipment and tools is necessary to solve a problem in the network will be equipped as well. For example, in case of a shutdown, instead of calling engineers, technicians, and needed tools, which was the case before, the emergency center will make it easier, faster, and more effective to respond, act, and safely energize the trip substations. With all workforces needed already 24/7 in the emergency center. Emergency centers are mainly maintaining Kuwait network and keeping the consumers away from losing electrical outages.
This reinforces the ministry's general strategy towards implementing the new Kuwait plan for development in the country. In the northern region of the country, the Ministry of Electricity, Water, and Renewable Energy is maintaining, developing, and transforming a number of network stations into emergency centers for electrical transmission networks as part of the ministry's plan to develop the electrical transmission network system in line with the smart system in this field. The stations have retired from the network and was restored to be an emergency center for the Electrical Transmission Network Center.
In June 2021 and March 2023, the work started to transform an old cancelled substation to an emergency centers for national workforce of engineers and technicians. Emergency centers are mainly maintaining Kuwait network. In each shift, all workforces from all sections are available to incident the electrical network, depend on the type of incident. Training center, in addition, after design, construction, and maintenance. Training is the key to completing the right path of any vision.
As the state of Kuwait seeks to have renewable energy stations to generate electricity, the strategy of the Ministry of Electricity, Water, and Renewable Energy is working to develop other stations, especially in the southern region. The main purpose of the station is to serve the main transfer stations and their annexes in the northern region of the state of Kuwait. There is also another center that serves the southern region. The Ministry of Electricity, Water, and Renewable Energy also launched a center for building and training national cadres affiliated with the electrical transmission networks sector in Al Adan region.
The idea of the center came a couple years ago from the feeling of the social responsibility to create more channels for effective training for the employee of a transmission network sector.
Providing creative training requires high quality planning and implementation. For that reason, the idea of establishing a training center started before 2018, and now the National Cadres Building and Training Center has become a reality. By utilizing a mix of training methods like workshops, seminars, case studies, simulations, on-the-job training, and many other methods, we can achieve effective training for our workforces. Through designing, constructing, maintaining, and training projects by a professionally trained team that understands and works on the basis of the developmental view of each aspect, achievements will be smooth and harmonic. And that serves the great vision of building Kuwaiti cadres, which is the main part of Kuwait's vision of 2035.
The center aims to create greater opportunities for effective training for male and female employees of the electrical transmission network sector and other sectors, and to create national cadres with high potentials and competencies with the size of the actual work needed. It also enhances research abilities and finds solutions to the problem facing the network by raising the efficiency of workers in the sector and facilitating access to information.
Kuwait Vision Overview Statements is developing the creativity on all aspects, starting from building, services, and the human resources. As a building need to be developed, the environment impact will increase, so the renewable energy resources need to be used as the primary energy sources needed to be developed and maintained. From this point forward, the transmission sector took the most significant steps to achieve the main aim of increasing the power flow of the electrical current used with the view of how stable and reliable.
And based on the version of a new Kuwait, the Ministry of Electricity, Water, and Renewable Energy will assure that all renewable energy stations and networks, in addition to the training centers, will be developed and strengthened in order to improve the service and quality of electric power in the country.